Okay, I know in my last video I said that I was going to be reading The Jungle by, I literally don't even know, Upton Sinclair, but I decided not to read that, and instead I'm going to be reading The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides because it's a shorter book, and I'm about to go move off to college again because I'm a loser. So I am just gonna read this. And then I also went and bought The White Album by Joan Didion. This cover is beautiful, y'all. I'm obsessed with this. And apparently it's like Joan's perspective on like things that were happening in the 1960s when she wrote it. So like the Black Panthers, what else? Charles Manson, and like shopping malls and stuff like that. So these are the two books that I just bought, and I'm going to be reading The Virgin Suicides first instead. So, yeah. That's what I'm going to be reading until I go off to college. Hey guys, I just thought I would give like a little update on the book. I'm like about halfway done, maybe a little over halfway. It's good. It's just like there's a I hate saying it's wordy. It's a book, like duh. But like it's just there's a lot of wordiness to it, I guess I would say. Like like Jeffrey definitely could have done without some of the like tangents that he goes on. And I get that like it's supposed to be told from a male's perspective, and like from the perspective of the man, these people changed his life. And so he's telling the story of how these girls, this group of girls, changed his life. If you don't know what the book's about, basically, on the back, there's no, like, this is not spoilers, this is on the back of the book, but basically these five girls, it's called Virgin Suicide. So, obviously, it's a group of girls, it's five girls, they're all sisters, they're called the Lisbon sisters, and one by one, over the course of the year, they decide to make a choice. So, since they make that choice, over like the course of time after the first one happened, that's like where we pick up is when the first one is happening. And then now they're telling about all of the stuff that's happening throughout the year before it happens to the rest of them. And I just finished the section where they went to homecoming, and it's so nice to finally see all of the characters be like fleshed out and to see all of the characters be like real people. Like at first, I think that my issue with the book was the guy was literally just talking about like random stuff, and then he would like include the stuff about the sister, but like now he's talking about like how it affected him. And I also like how the author is right, like the person telling the story is saying like how it ties in later, because he's an adult now. And so he's saying like things that he's checked back up on over the years, and like, oh, just last year I found out da 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 da. So I really, really, really like that. So I would say so far I would give it, my prediction is that I'm going to give it a 4 stars out of 10. Hopefully it's a 5, but like just with how the writing is going so far, I just see it being a 4. It's a 3 right now. But I think that if there can be more beautifully tragic things said in the book, it will change. So, fingers crossed. But yeah, that is my update. I will update, I guess, whenever I finish the book. But this was my little update. And I haven't really wrote any notes. For my last book review, I was going to try to, like, start taking notes on my phone. But, like, I did for the last book, for Cleopatra and Frankenstein. But for this book, first of all, it's just so short. And second of all, like, there's just not really much to take notes on. The writing is just really pretty. That is what this book mainly is just really pretty writing with a tragic plot. And the last book that I did a review on, Cleo and Frank, there was such a like through line to it all, and the way that the author described the characters was really good. And I think that Jeffrey Eugenides just isn't like, he's descriptive, but not in the way that interests me. Like, I love beautiful writing and descriptive writing. I don't like when you talk about the same lock of hair for 30 minutes, or whenever you like over romanticize or over fetishize certain things. I think that's really weird. So, that is how I feel so far. So far, it's a 3. Hopefully, it gets to a 4 stars. But yeah, let's try. I try to pick it up like that. Let's see if I can do it. The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Gendies, everyone. It's honestly not that bad so far. It's like okay. It's like mid, I would say. But I was expecting a lot more. I had been wanting to read this for a while, and I'm obviously going to watch the movie after. Maybe I'll do my vlog like after I've watched the movie and see how it compares. I'm interested to see Lux's death. I am the most like enraptured by her storyline. She seems the most interesting out of all of the girls, to me at least. I like that Mary is very reserved, and I love that like Bonnie, like Therese is very self-conscious about her looks, and Bonnie is very like not leader, vibes. Like she's more of like a follower. So I'm interested to see the actors that play those girls because I have pictures in my head. Like I'll go ahead and fan cast. So who are the 5? So Cecilia, I know that she's way too young, but I imagine like an older version of Bonnie from Toy Story, like animated. I don't know, for some reason. Or even the little girl from The Haunting of Hill House. That's a good one too. Like the little girl from, like, I think her name's Nell, like the child version of Nell. It could be Cecilia. For Lux, I imagine my friend, well, a girl I used to work with, I'm not going to name her, but a girl I used to work with. And yeah, that is like what I imagine Lux to be. Or, no, yeah, truly just like a black-haired girl with green eyes and like a very face. That's Lux. For Mary, I think of Mary Beth Barone. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Like a younger teenage Mary Beth Barone. For Bonnie, I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about Bonnie and Therese much. For Therese, I think of Bronwyn from Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The girl that played her in the movie. Like the one that was like really strong. That's who I imagine Therese looking like, because Therese is very self-conscious about how like she looks different than the other sisters. And then for Bonnie, just like a brown-haired, brown-eyed, tan girl, I guess. That's like all I think of when I think of Bonnie. So yeah, I guess I'll look up the actresses and see if they like compare. I'll be right back. So they're like kind of how I imagine them being, but like not for real. The mom and the dad make a lot of sense though, like the hyper religious, overprotective parents, those both make sense. Therese kind of makes sense. And then Lux for sure. What is her name? I love that actor. What is her name? Kirsten Dunst. This is giving Lux Lisbon to me. Hold on. Virgin movie Lux Lisbon. Ew. Wait, sorry. I just saw who they had playing. What's his name? His name is like Cliff or something like that. Trip Fontaine. The fact that this is Trip Fontaine does not make sense at all to me. I'm sorry. He just does not look like that to me. I am really excited to see this. I low-key just spoiled myself with looking at images on Google because I didn't want to know how she died. I wanted to like let that be a surprise, but just got it spoiled for me. So, but the fact that this is Trip does not make sense. Trip looks horrible. In my head, Trip is in my head, Trip is this muscular, blue eyes, black curly haired gentleman. Um, maybe maybe if I watch this back, I'm not gonna know what I'm talking about, but it's somebody that we can't say online. So yeah. Cecilia was the first to go. So tragic. Sorry, spoiler alert. But yeah. So that's gonna be all for me for now. I'm going to read the book now. And let's see if I can finish it either today or tomorrow. So, peace. Hi, welcome to my final thoughts of The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Eugenides. So basically, I really liked the ending of the book. It was a lot more unexpected. I think I thought that it was going to be more of a linear progression throughout the story. And so I went in knowing literally nothing about the book, but obviously, I mean, the title kind of gives it away. The fact that there's a plural in the title is like, what I didn't expect is that the majority of the book would be about the suffering and about the hidden emotions that the girls went through, and not a linear progression of one by one, because at the beginning it kind of makes it sound like it's going to be one by one. I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it was just a very good book, and I think I thought it was going to be a 4, and I am more tempted to give it a 3.5, but I think with how fast I was reading it and the fact that I wasn't like taking notes on it like I wanted to, when I read my next book, I really want to take notes. So future me, we're gonna hold ourselves to that. But beautiful cover, love this book. It was a really good book. I think that if I would have sat down and had more time with it and been able to think over it more, I do give it a 4 stars. But yeah, so now I'm gonna go watch the movie, and maybe I'll come back and let you know how relevant it was and if it got everything right. So far, I know I talked about the cast in my last clip, but I mean, so far the cast seems pretty good. I'm excited to see what they do with the infamous scene. I'm excited to see how they play out. So far it kind of sounds like it's just going to be narrated, kind of like this was narrated, with like a story underneath, but then somebody explaining the undertones of what's truly going on over the clips. So hopefully it's good, but I will come back and let you know, I guess. Okay, final thoughts are, I didn't like the movie. It was okay. Honestly, it just felt like, I don't know, like it just kind of felt like kind of pointless. Don't shoot me, Sofia Coppola, I'm sure you're great. But it felt like it was being too indie. And obviously, like, another complaint I had at the very beginning of the movie, the mother was being way too dramatic. Like, I don't know if that was supposed to be the progression of her character throughout the story in the book. I didn't get that, but in the book, her character seems so stoic and so, like, composed and so strict. And then in the movie, it's like she started out really blah, 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 and then over time, she became the strict woman, and I didn't notice it as much towards the end, but, and then also, it did not really like the casting for Trip. It was just not it to me. And I also don't like, maybe I misread it in the book, but I thought that Trip and Lux rode home together the morning after homecoming, or no, a couple hours after. Like, because in the book, I'm pretty sure it said she was only 2 hours late. Well, in the movie, it made it seem like he just left her and was like, I just didn't love her. But that's not true, because you literally sat there as your older self and was like, but I loved her so much. Clearly not, because you left her. So I don't really understand that. But other than that, it was an okay movie. Out of 10, I would maybe give it 7. Yeah, and out of 5 stars, I maybe give it like a 3.5. Nothing to write home about. But I mean, it portrayed the story pretty accurately, and they even said some of the same lines. Like, Coppola kept a lot of the dialogue and like kept a lot of the stuff pretty adaptation adjacent. So really good altogether. I'm glad to be wrapping up that story because it was very sad, and I want to wrap up this chapter in my life that I've been a little bit sadder and living at home. The next time you see me, I'll be in a dorm, hopefully. So with that, I bid my Decatur journey and my virgin suicide journey farewell. So I don't know what I'm going to be reading next. I know that I told you guys I was going to be reading The Jungle next, and then I ended up not, just because I didn't really feel like reading that long of a book before I left. So I actually went and bought 2 new books. The other one I already showed you is the Joan Didion book. Don't know if I'll read that next. I'm only probably going to bring 3 books with me to school, just because I don't feel like bringing my whole library. But like, I do feel like bringing more than 1 book, just in case I want like an option. So yeah, thanks so much if you're watching this, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much. Bye.